Hi y'all, my name is Audrey Markle and I graduated from OBU in 2012. I am currently in my 8th year of teaching and I am so pumped for you guys. I remember a teacher saying to me when I got my first teaching job, she said, "Audrey, you think you're prepared, but you have no idea until you get in this classroom." And I was scared out of my mind. And through the years, I've gotten to help other first year teachers, and I cannot tell you guys enough how adequately prepared that the OBU education program is going to make y'all. So take advantage of this opportunity, even though you're online. We are too here in Michigan, which is not my favorite, but grateful that we have this opportunity to keep learning. Okay, so when Dr. Poole told me about y'all working on your classroom management plan, I was so stoked because, no lie, I still use my classroom management plan that I made when I was in that class. I've adjusted it, I think, every single year, maybe even every single semester, but it's an amazing template that I go back to. So I want to share with you guys a little bit about my procedures and so on and so forth. So number one, the rules. So rules for the classroom. I don't know how specific you guys want to hear, but I'll tell you real quick. The last few years I've used 4 rules: be respectful, responsible, productive, and prompt. I quickly figured out my first year I had the idea of just be respectful as my rule. Quickly figured out though that their idea of respect and mine were totally on different pages, and so we made a huge effort to define what respect is and did a ton of activities to figure out what that looks like. I will say that I am borderline obsessed with the first days of school. I have seen the effects of being so strategic in the way that you use those first few days. So take those very seriously, pray a ton about it, ask people that you respect, and be willing to change it every year or every trimester or whatever. And listen to mentor teachers that you find, because they'll have great ideas from their experience. Okay, so with that being said, what I wanted to say was I have done rules like day 1 and gone through the syllabus. However, in the last few years, I have found that doing like cooperative learning type activities is invaluable for the first few days. It just really sets up an amazing classroom climate, which is hugely important. Hugely important. That's great English, I think. So number 2, other thing with rules. There is a lot of value in having your students help come up with, how do you guys want to be treated? What are some ways that you expect me or your peers to treat you, and why do you want to be treated that way? And from that, a lot of times your students will come up with their rules themselves. They'll have a sense of ownership over them, and it's really cool. But sometimes you kind of got to direct them with that. Okay, now number 2, consequences. Whew, I've tried a lot of different things with consequences. I will say that my favorite, hands down, was taken from the Ron Clark Academy. What up? Y'all know it's the best. So first things first, you give them the look when they're disobeying. And sometimes you like do the proximity thing and you walk over there and you're like, "Hey, so-and-so, I don't really think that's a good idea." Or, "Can you stop trying to steal my attention here? I'm trying to help the class." Something like that. I hope you understood that. So you kind of give them that warning if needed, depending. Then step 1A or 2, I don't know what you want to call it, is you could say, "Hey, Audrey, I'm so sorry you made that choice." You don't even have to say that. After a while, it kind of just, they know what to expect. You kind of just point at them and you point at the board and they go write their name on the board. Yeah, it can be embarrassing, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be a big show. And if it is a show, then there's going to be another consequence from there. So they write their name on the board, have a little box, have them just write their name like normal size. If you have middle schoolers, they can get really crazy. and then just go take a seat. If they keep trying to steal the show, then so sorry, man. You got to go put a check mark next to your name next. Now, if you have the check mark next to your name, that's when it's like, okay, so sorry, but you got to stay for lunch detention or after school detention today. We're going to talk about this. They get another check mark again, and I've kind of adjusted these depending on the class and what it is that really gets their attention. So then another check mark could be a phone call home or an email home or something like that, or staying after class. Next, you could have like an office, like you have to go to the office if it's like just so out of hand you can't handle it. I don't really like to use that one, but every once in a while you'll have a kid where you're like, ooh, we need some outside help here. Yeah. So just kind of be creative with that. Consequences are hard for me. I hate doing consequences, but I will say that you have to draw the line and hold it. If they see like, oh, Miss Markle is like, she's kind of soft and she's not really gonna do what she said, they will push you until they can. So you've got to stand behind those. That's huge. Okay. Procedures and routines. The biggest thing I have to say about that is practice, like literally practice. So when somebody like does something right, like let's say that I don't want them to raise their hand and ask to get a pencil sharpened. I want them to just get up and do it. It's less disruptive to me. So when they remember like, oh, I just get up and like quietly like go over there and sharpen my pencil and go sit back down and be like, oh my gosh, you guys, did y'all just see so-and-so just totally knew what to do when their pencil broke? Can someone tell me what so-and-so just did when their pencil broke? Miss Markle, they got up and they went to the pencil sharpener and they didn't say a word. Yeah, that was amazing. Let's give it up for so-and-so and just make a big deal about it. Next, big thing with procedure, kind of moves on to the first 5 minutes of class. Whew. So first 5 minutes of class is huge. Just like the first few days of school, these kids have got to start off the right way. So when my kids come in, if they're acting crazy, like if I'm like in the hall talking to somebody and I come in and it's like, oh my gosh, I think like, I don't even know what's going on in there, but it's bad. I'll be like, whoa, this is so sad because I thought I had a really great learning environment going on up in here. So let's go ahead and shift what we're doing now. And sometimes what I do with my middle schoolers is I say, hey guys, you're actually gonna all have to leave the classroom right now and come back in the right way. And it's just not a big deal and everybody does it. And sometimes it is a big deal and you have to do it 15 times. It's really annoying, but I promise you it pays off. I've literally spent like at least half of a class with multiple classes every year practicing how to come in the classroom. Like it's like kindergarten, okay? And I've taught middle school, high school. So I'll say, okay, everybody grab your stuff. Now let's go out in the hallway. All right, you can talk, do whatever in the hallway. When you come in, how do we come in, guys, when you come back in? And we're gonna do this until everyone does it the right way. Number one, like, greet me. I'm a human being. They'll walk in, they're like, and I'm like, hey, what's up? How's it going? And they just ignore you sometimes. So I've got to say, hey, whoa, let's step on back out of here now. And then just ask them again, hey, I'm so glad you're here. How are you today? And like, push them to a place where they're gonna greet you. It's just common courtesy, folks, but you gotta teach them. Unfortunately, a lot of the kids sometimes forget. Sometimes I forget too when I'm feeling kind of sleepy or cranky. So we gotta hold each other accountable, yeah? So when you come in, you gotta greet me. You can greet each other, be like, hey, how's it going? But you go straight to your seat. It's not a show. So you go straight to your seat and then you do a couple of things for me. You get out your homework and something to grade your homework with, and your notes and something to write with on your notes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, if you were gone the day before, then you march up to the folder at the front of the room or the side kind of. And if you were gone Tuesday, you go to Tuesday's folder and you look at the assignment board and you say, oh, we did notes 2 and homework 1. So you go and you get out notes 2 and homework 1. And you go back to your seat and then you ask your neighbor, hey, can we get the notes from yesterday? Okay, thanks. Don't come ask Miss Markle. She's got things going on. Okay, you can ask me after class. Don't ask me when I'm trying to get class started. Okay, great. And then the last 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes of class are also really important, but I'm not gonna lie. These are one of my weak weak areas. This is one of my weak areas in school, because a lot of times I'm teaching and then the bell rings. I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? How did the bell ring? And the kids are already like, yeah, Miss Markle, you're missing it every day. So learn from me. And the kids, they don't like that at all. So I really have been working on it. But anyways, what I like to do is I have a thing called the homework agenda. Again, these are middle schoolers, but trust me, even for high schoolers, it's amazing. I have a homework agenda, and every day I put it on the board on the little document camera, and we fill it out together. What's your homework tonight? And how many points is it out of? And then we put that in our pocket, go over any questions from the day. And then if there's like a minute or a couple seconds, then we'll do like a lot of times like a verbal quiz. It's kind of fun. Just like, okay, what is the line that crosses two parallel lines called? Go. And you just kind of try to be crazy. Not crazy, but just like fun, because that's the last thing they're going to remember. And I love to pray with my kids at the beginning and end of class, ask for prayer requests. I also am teaching at a Christian school these last few years, so it's been really fun to do that. But anyways, yeah, when I was at public school though, I always gave them like a quote of the day, and I tried to lead it into the gospel of like, hey, if you're looking for satisfaction in life, there's only one place you're really gonna ever find it. And people get really confused, myself included, about where to go, but I actually know the one place that you can go to get satisfaction forever. If you ever want to talk about it, let me know after class or something like that. And then it kind of is like, whoa, satisfaction in life forever. What's this girl know? It's really cool. So if you have public school kids, you can still be really creative in that. I talked really fast. I hope that helped. And if any of you guys would ever want any of my resources, trust me, I would love to share them, because I have been shared with a ton. Okay, love you, mean it, keep it real. Bye, guys.